This Saturday night, the hottest rising prospect in Caio Borralho plans to extend his unbeaten UFC win streak against one of the division's most established veterans, the killer gorilla, Jared Cannonier. Alright, I can't even lie, I forgot all about this fight. Like, why do you think this is coming out the day before the fight? Yes, everybody's favorite time is prediction time. I remember in my last week's predictions I got 6 right and 6 wrong, so that wasn't the best. But this week I plan to do better. So no dilly-dally, let's get straight into the predictions. And the first fight of the night, we have Kong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. I have no care in the world for this fight, but for the record, I have Kong Wang winning. Let's just get straight into the next fight. Next up, Zigimantas Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. Let's look at their records here, guys. Let's look at Zigimantas Ramaska. He's got a 3-fight win streak. This is his debut within the UFC. He is on a 3-fight KO streak as well, so that's something interesting to look at. They both have similar records here. Nathan Fletcher coming off of 2 wins. He's 26 years old, so very young. Ramaska 27. These guys are about as even as you can get. I'm gonna go with Zigimantas Ramaska to win this one. Next fight we have is Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Josia Nunes. Cavalcanti 6-1 record, 26 years old, on a 4-fight win streak. Josia Nunes is 30 and she lost her last fight, but she did go on a long win streak before that. To win this one, I'm gonna go with Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win this one. Next fight, we have Vyacheslav Borchev versus James Lontop. Let's look at Vyacheslav Borchev. He's 7-4. He's got a shaky record. Lost his last fight to Chase Hooper. He hasn't won in over a year, which is not exactly a good look. Whereas if we look at James Lontop, 14-3, he lost his last fight, but to be fair, before that he went on a very long win streak, so fair enough to him for that. But he did lose via rear naked choke in his last fight. I'm gonna go with James Lontop to win this, just because recently Borchev has not been winning many fights. So I'm gonna go with James Lontop to win this one. Next up, we have Zachary Reese taking on Jose Daniel Medina. If we look at Zachary Reese's record, he's 7-1. He won his last fight via TKO in the first round within 20 seconds. So that's pretty interesting. He lost to Cody Brundage. So that is not very helpful. That's not a very good look, losing to Cody Brundage. If we look at Jose Medina, he has never fought within the UFC. He lost his last fight to Magomed Gadz, random guy. So he lost his last fight. Record of 11-3, 33 years old. I'm gonna go with Zachary Reese to win this one. You know, he's coming off of a win, quick win. He's younger, he's taller, 6'3" for a middleweight. That's pretty tall, I can't lie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Zachary Reese to win this one against Jose Daniel Medina. Next up, we have Denis Buzukja taking on Francis Marshall. Denis Buzukja is 12-4. He won his last fight via TKO, but he lost his last 2 fights before that, so that's not very good. Francis Marshall, 7-2. He has lost his last 2 fights, which again is not good. He lost his last one to a TKO. And Denis Buzukja is coming off of a win. I'm gonna go Denis Buzukja to win this. So yeah. Next up, we have Edmund Shabazian taking on. Bro, I swear some people's names are just like meant to be hard. Like they're just put there just to be hard. Yeah? Gerald Merchiert. I put this in Google Translate, flipping German. This guy's name is way too hard to pronounce. Anyway, Edmund Shabazian, 13-4 record. He's coming off of a win by KO against AJ Dobson. Okay, and then if we look at Gerald, he got interesting record: 36 wins, 17 losses. He is coming off of a win against Brian Barberina. He has lost to Joe Pyfer. He lost to Andrei Petrosky. I'm gonna go with, yeah, they both have bad losses. Shabazian has lost to Anthony Hernandez, Imamov, Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson. So he's lost to all the best, basically. Yeah, I mean, based off just, their ages, records, I think I'm going to have to go for Edmund Shabazian to win this one. Next fight, we have Neil Magny taking on Michael Morales. I don't understand why this fight was not on the co-main event. But anyway, first up we have Neil Magny. Obviously, he's a hardcore veteran of the welterweight division. 29 wins, 11 losses. He's coming off of a win, to be fair, against Mike Mallow. That was at the beginning of the year on the UFC 297 card. I'm pretty sure this guy has like every single record in the welterweight division. Most wins, most knockouts. Anyway, actually probably not most knockouts. This guy's got 60% of his wins coming by decision. Anyway, next up, we have I think this is our first undefeated fighter, Michael Morales. He is 25 years old, so very young, hot prospect, 16-0, 11 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout, so that's interesting. He last fought in November of last year, so it's been a while. He went against Jake Matthews. Look, this guy has a lot on the stake. If Michael Morales does not win this, that's going to be very, probably going to be quite bad for his career. He's a striker. He needs to win this, basically. I think even though Neil Magny's got the experience, he's getting up there in age. He's 37 now. He's 6'3", to be fair, but I think for a fight like this, you have to go for Michael Morales. He's a promising prospect. He's getting his first ranked opponent. So I think in this scenario, you're going to have to go for Michael Morales to get the win here. Next fight we have is Khan Offley versus Myron Santos. Please someone tell me why this fight is so high up on the card, above Neil Magny fight. It makes no sense. Literally, these guys have never fought in the UFC, I'm pretty sure. Even the UFC website shows these guys as having no record. So anyway, Khan Offley is 11-2. He's on a massive win streak right now, which is interesting. We compare it to Myron Santos, who is 13-1. So he lost his fight. Oh wait, he's a very inactive fighter. This guy fights once a year. Myron Santos is a very inactive fighter. He last fought in March 2023, so that's like a long time ago. He's very inactive. I think I'm gonna have to go with Khan Offley to get this one done. Next fight, Robert Valentin versus Ryan Loder. Robert Valentin having a record of 10-3. He is on a 3-fight win streak. Ryan Loder 6-1. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Ryan Loder has never fought within the UFC, and that is the same with Robert Valentin. I'm gonna go with Robert Valentin to win this one. Next up, we got Angela Hill versus Tabitha Ritchie. For some reason, this is the co-main event. Anyway, Angela Hill got kind of a dodgy record: 17 wins, 13 losses. She has won her last 2 fights, though, to be fair. So that's pretty good. If we look at Tabitha Ritchie, she has 10 wins, 2 losses. She won her last fight by a split decision. She lost to Lupita Godinez by a split decision as well. She also lost to Fiorot. So, I mean, 2 high-class opponents, fair enough. This is a hard one to call because obviously I've never watched these kind of fighters before. I think I'm gonna just go with Tabitha Ritchie to get this one done. And finally, we have the main event: Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Obviously, we know what Jared Cannonier can do in the octagon. He's a bit hit and miss. Like in his last fight versus Nasruddin Imamov, he did get finished. I mean, I know that finish was a bit dodgy, but at the end of the day, he did lose. He's got some crazy wins, like Sean Strickland. Okay, that's his only crazy win, but Sean Strickland. He's also won against Vettori, Brunson, Kevin Gastelum, Anderson Silva, Hermanson. You know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, you know, he's really getting up there in age now. He's 40 years old. Obviously, that doesn't take away from the fact that he's still an amazing fighter, but, you know, there's a certain age when, you know, age always catches up to you, especially in a sport like this. Then we look at Caio Borralho. You know, he's young, 31. Okay, that's not that young, but you know what I'm saying. 6'2". He's looked very good. He's 16-1. He's on a massive win streak. He's never lost within the UFC. You know, he looks so good. He just knocked the hell out of Paul Craig in his last fight. This is a hard one to call because, you know, damn, man, this is a hard one to call. Jared Cannonier, he's established himself as a, you know, solid fighter. Wait, Jared Cannonier is from Alaska. What the hell? Who's from Alaska? Anyway, I can see this. If this goes to a decision, I can see Cannonier winning this. If there's a finish, I can see Caio Borralho getting the win. I'm gonna go for Caio Borralho to win this fight, man. I think, you know, young man's talent. Cannonier is just getting up there in age now. It's a bit peak, but you know that doesn't mean he still can't win. But you know, I think Caio Borralho is gonna win this one by maybe a knockout. I think Cannonier's probably got quite a good chin, but I think Borralho could submit or knock him out. If it goes to a decision, I do think Cannonier would win this, but my official prediction for this fight is Caio Borralho to win this. And that is about it. But anyway, you guys let me know who you think is going to win this Saturday night. Jared Cannonier or Caio Borralho. I can genuinely see it going both ways. But anyway, yeah. That's about it. And yeah, safe.
I'm in the county, hell no, I don't play. Ain't none of that chillin' with the ops on deck. I ain't even gonna speak on the ops. Some boys not up on the ground, they be ducking the wreck. I seen a person get hit in his chest, and he know his hit was holding his neck. I love when I'm chasing him down, cause soon as he hit that ground, I'm taking his breath. I never needed a crowd, I was 16, I was getting wild all by myself.